Hello teachers, I'm excited to share a new feature with you called Quiz Mode. Quiz Mode is a modification you make to a lesson that turns it into a better assessment tool. In Quiz Mode, students cannot view hints, review the correct answers, make a second attempt at passing a lesson, and they have a due date for when the lesson needs to be completed or else they'll get a 0. Any lesson in EditMentor can be turned into a quiz, including a new lesson that you create. But for now, let's talk about turning one of our pre-made lessons into a quiz. The first step is to duplicate the lesson. And we highly recommend you duplicate the lesson because if any students have already passed this lesson, their score is going to be the quiz score. And it says that you can find your duplicated lesson under the draft lessons. We'll go to the draft lessons, select it, and now we're going to edit the lesson and give it a new name. Let's call this Elements of a News Package Quiz. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this new button, Quiz Mode. Once activated, you can read here that it says quizzes do not allow students to reveal the answers, see hints, or review past correct answers. The next thing you can do is set a lesson start date. Now the start date is going to show when the students can see the quiz. So you may not want it today, you might want it next week or another day in the future. For this exercise, I'm going to have the quiz appear today. And I'm going to set the end date as tomorrow. So the students must complete this quiz by tomorrow or else they're going to get a 0. Down at the bottom, if I save the lesson, it'll still be a draft. So I'm going to publish the lesson and confirm that yes, it's published. And you can see now we have a quiz. Let's find it. Where is it? There it is. The 10th one. It's a quiz. Now, if you want to see the due date of the quiz, you select the quiz. And up at the top, you can see that quiz mode is enabled. There's a lesson start date and there's a lesson end date. Let's take a look at it now from the student's perspective. On the student's page, you can now see this new lesson added. It's called Quiz, and it has this quiz badge. If I select it, I'm starting the quiz. Notice that I cannot skip around. I have to start right at the top. And notice that there is no hint button here. There is no reveal answers button. I'm going to make a couple of answers randomly, submit my answers, and I got some right, some wrong. There is no view possible correct answers here anymore. And when I go to the next challenge, I cannot go back. I can go back and reread the lesson, but I cannot actually play it again. Now let's see what happens if the students have missed the deadline. I'm going to set this as a due date as yesterday. Notice that now that the quiz has expired, the student can no longer click on the quiz and can't attempt it again. They can review their answers, but they can't see what was correct or incorrect, and they can't replay or try again. Now, let's say you have a student or a bunch of students who didn't make it in time and you want to extend the deadline of when the quiz is due. You can do that in the same place. Just go to the end date here, set it a little bit later, and save the challenge. And if I refresh the student's page, now they'll have access to the quiz again and can continue it. It's important to note that once a student has attempted all of the challenges all the way through to the end, they cannot replay them. However, if they started a quiz and just simply didn't finish it, they can log back in and continue the quiz until they finish it. Thank you. That's it for this tutorial.